All right, folks, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. We're getting down to the conclusion of the groups, and so every game becomes all that much more important. And for Overtaken in this series against Dragonstar, he's never been swept. He's won a game every series, but he's only on 3 wins in a group of crazy winners. Dragonstar's in 4th place right now after 3 rounds, being 6-3. He's won every series 2-1. And if Dragonstar were to win this series here today, he would take 1st place, passing Sato and passing Slam. Or, even if he were to tie Slam, I believe he's passed Slam on tiebreakers. So this could be huge for a player from India who's down here in the South. He's playing as the Vietnamese. And so, again, just to reiterate the storylines here, like Stark is dead in the water in this group. He's 0-9. There's no way he can really survive at this point. Overtaken, he needs to win. Now, if Overtaken wins, let's say 2-1, okay? He goes up to 5 wins, which is still below the other players. However, his final round is against Stark. And you could say, up against Stark, the other players have been 3-0ing him. If he does 3-0 him as well, he gets 2 wins today, goes up to 5. He gets 3 wins from Stark, he goes up to 8. I don't think there's ever been a group in all of our TTL seasons where someone at 8 didn't survive. Would possibly send one of those other big names, Kingston, Sato, Slam, down, which would be ridiculous. But I don't know. I've not ever seen a group that has had 5 players not get swept after this many rounds. That's essentially what has happened here this far. All right, so Humans for Overtaken is just like crazy mind games, regardless of what he does. You always have to fear the Humans making the second TC. I do not think that making the second TC in Feudal Age is necessarily the wisest move on a map like this, but I have not seen it yet. So I don't know. Maybe it's like a new meta thing. It was his very last Civ pick. So maybe Overtaken feels like he needs to take some risks, needs to take some gambles in order to get wins off the rest of the players in this group. He was super close yesterday. We watched him yesterday play Kingston, where he lost 2-1, but that could have easily been a 2-1 victory for Overtaken. It's wild to think that had he won 2-1 yesterday against Kingston, maybe he doesn't try Humans here. Maybe he's not as desperate. Anyways, for the time being, he's got 5 on wood. And so that's going to be for a dock. And he's got his water region here. Good scouting of his dock. A dock possibility. Actually, really good generation for him as well, because sometimes the fish are spread out. He's got double shorefish here, and he's got all the fish really close. Fish are pretty close for Dragonstar as well, but you see what I mean with this fish being a bit further away. Dragonstar knows where the opponent is because of the Vietnamese bonus. Vietnamese are a very strong Civ. I actually played a ranked game right before this and ran it into Vietnamese against Bengalis on Arabia. And for Cav archers like Cav, it felt good. Their eco, though, is phenomenal. They do not spend wood on their eco upgrades, and their eco upgrades research faster, and I think their tech tree... Well, many people just think Vietnamese archer civilization. It's really solid. They have solid Cav, and solid eco. You can kind of play Vietnamese just like, almost like Huns in Castle Age if you wish to, like Knights and Cav archers. Obviously, there's different bonuses to play. Boar's just being brought in here for Dragonstar, and he best get to scouting to see what Overtaken's going to be up to. I think you could still go for the second town center off the dock. I think not docking is just a silly move. The way players are playing this now is they're sending 2 villagers to dock, so they get all that shorefish there with the 2 vills. And then you have additional eco units with the fishing ships, right? This is interesting. Dragonstar actually chose to research Loom and send only 1 villager out here. And you research Loom because you think you're going to lose the Vill. Most players have just not been researching Loom and just having 2 Vills because the scout's not able to kill the villager. Plus, you bring in food a little bit faster. So I think I prefer the 2 villager approach and delaying Loom. We'll see what ends up being different between the 2 builds. I don't think there's going to be all that much in it. Now, Dragonstar being up against Humans has to think, will he go Fast Castle? Not Fast Castle, sorry, Fast Feudal 2TC. And then the thought process sometimes when up against Humans, which is where my brain took me, is, well, then I'll go Fast Castle. But if you just sit at home and go Fast Castle and then he's not even going for the 2TCs, sometimes you could just be overrun with military. I'll be curious to see what YouTube comments say about this, but what have my live viewers felt about Spiral? I really liked it. I don't really liked it past tense. I really like it. I think it's really fun. I think there's varied strategy. This will be a new strategy. We've not seen this yet. I feel like you're you're so exposed if you're over here. But actually, I was expecting the TC. He's not going for the TC. He's actually just looking to control the deer. You know what I think this is? I think this is just the barracks for spearmen and then the town center. Initially, I was thinking barracks and then a follow-up building, like a stable. But he wouldn't bring this many villagers for that. I wonder if Dragonstar can pick up on that too. Because he sees the barracks, and that's probably a surprise for him. He's probably like, oh, he's not booming. Interesting. Okay, there is a stable as well. Okay, so I don't know what I'm talking about. I think he's still going to save for the TC. So Dragonstar sees the stable. It's going to be hard to produce villagers out of your town centers and also scouts out of your stable. So maybe we only see like 2 scouts. This is definitely where the TC is going, though. He's still waiting, still waiting, still waiting. Has the wood. Now we'll drop the TC. Okay. And will be really nice for him once his TC is completed because he's got quite a bit of food in these villagers' hands. That'll give him a bit of a spike. All right, so from Dragonstar's perspective, looking to do some damage here. He is going to see that villager. Overtaken can quick wall pretty nicely here, but he's going to pull these villagers. He doesn't want to take any massive risks. He's going to pull these villagers just to try and kill the scout, and he quick walls it as well. And this is Overtaken with, I don't want to say his tournament life on the line in just this game, but like this series, he needs to get 2 victories. I'm kind of hoping that he does, but I'm torn because I'm such a... I love Dragonstar. He's one of my favorite players. He's one of the nicest guys in our scene. So, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say these things out loud. Dragonstar watches my cast. Overtaken might. I don't know. Dragonstar, don't hate me, okay? Just don't hate me. I love you. But also, you know, from entertainment standpoint, would be kind of nice for Overtaken to get some good results here. Overtaken getting some nice hits. So he's killed Dragonstar's scout. And remember, he didn't lose a villager either. There is still a hole here, by the way. He's got 3 scouts of his own. And the double town center play is working out nicely thus far. I don't actually like the mill location. That could possibly affect villager pathing, but he needs a mill somewhere before he can farm, so it does make sense for it to be on the berries. It's just the in the berries thing. Maybe it's not that big of an issue because you've got the TC as a drop-off point too. So it's been scouts and it's been 2 town centers so far for Overtaken, and this has already arrived to the type of situation where you need to think about Castle Age if you're Dragonstar. Dragonstar is going to find these 2 villagers with everything happening. This is something that Overtaken forgot about, and he's not going to be able to quick wall himself out of this one. A great find for Dragonstar. I really felt like he wasn't going to be able to find any damage here. So important pickoffs for him. The villagers, they might be the only villagers that end up going down for Overtaken here. Because he's got 3 scouts versus the 4 scouts from Dragonstar. At least on screen, we've got 3 versus 3. And there's also 4 spearmen on the field right now for Overtaken. Walls have gone up for Dragonstar at home. He's transitioning to gold. Even getting wheelbarrow now. But research is faster, right? Ah, man, that actually is making me think. So, in my game, the game I played right before the stream, I was Vietnamese, and I forgot wheelbarrow until I was at like 100 vils. And now it makes me feel so much worse about it. Because it researches so fast. It's a great upgrade to get, and then the fact that it researches quickly as well is quite nice. Remember, Cumins was his final pick. I thought it was like a bit of a gamble, but he really has played this well here. And I don't think the Castle Age time is going to suffer either for Overtaken. Again, he lost 2 vills. But he's still got a villager lead now, and his food count's looking amazing. And the second TC on the berries and the deer has worked wonders for him. Because typically you're just going second TC into farms, and farms take a lot longer to pay off. Doesn't really seem like that's the case right now. And Dragonstar dropping the range. And this is going to be a Cav Archer play from him. Vietnamese archers have more HP, and that also translates to the Cav Archers, which is why Vietnamese Cav Archers is so good. And then they get full blacksmith upgrades as well. They also get heavy cav archer. I think they might miss Parthian tactics. I think that's it. Again, I should know. I was doing it right before this. But I also didn't know to get wheelbarrow, so what do I even know? Looks like the gold's just not there for Overtaken right now. And that's still a big thing to think about for both players in this map. Because, again, you have 2 tiles of gold near your starting TC. And then the rest you need to expand to. Yeah, exactly. Move over, Sipahi. You don't even need to research anything for Vietnamese to have more HP on their cav archers. You just need to exist. It's not really a new thing. There are people out there who probably have been going Vietnamese cav archers for a while now. That's quite strong. So, Dragonstar on the way up. He's a minute and 35 seconds away from clicking up. He's gone 3 ranges, which is quite a crazy commitment. And Overtaken's on the way up. Overtaken's got 33 on food. I mean, 19 of them are here. He's got 33 on food. He's got 12 on gold. He's going to be finished with these berries, and he's going to be finished with this gold in no time, though. So, honestly, it would be rather interesting if he has too many villagers to send to too few resources. It's not like he has enough wood to build farms with 17 villagers here. They're going to have to go somewhere. That said, I don't think you're ever going to argue over or be upset about not having a lot of eco. I think what happens here is when these villagers finish the gold, they go to wood. And when these villagers finish the berries, they go to gold. I think you just kind of swap res. Res collected here. Surprisingly close, but Overtaken with the higher vill counts should be in the better position in the long run. And first move we see from Dragonstar is a TC outside of his walls on the gold. What a risky, actually. Overtaken might be looking around for that. He didn't see the gold over here. He's just checking over here. Dragonstar going to drop University as well. Get the wood upgrade, get the farm upgrade. You wouldn't be able to go University and Cav Archers and wood upgrade, farm upgrade with any other civ with those resources. It's just Vietnamese because you don't spend the wood on those upgrades. 3 stables for Overtaken. Overtaken going to go for Knights. Makes a lot of sense to me with all this food and all this gold. And I think we'll see these villagers head over here soon. Might consider a 3rd town center. Knights will have +2 armor. And there's very important gold area here in the middle. I wonder if you just TC that. I've yet to see anyone TC this. I've seen castles here, but I guess it's too exposed. Oh, man. Oh, man. TC's on the way up. Dragonstar doesn't have any pre-walls there. The Knights will definitely find a villager pick. I think the TC could still go up. He's got to be clicking a lot here. And the TC will be denied, which is huge for Overtaken because he's got a 27 villager lead. And now he's slowed down that second TC from Dragonstar. I mean, the big deal here was always going to be, can Dragonstar build up enough army to kill whatever Overtaken's going to have and control the map? You're guaranteed to be behind in villagers regardless here. But that TC was denied at 98%. A good job from Overtaken just to scout the area, pay attention to that area, and be incredibly active with his Knights. While the Cav Archers are strong and the Cav Archers have ballistics and more HP, the Cuman Knights still have mobility to be able to run around a little bit, buy a little bit more time for decisions like this. 3rd TC on the gold. You love to see it. Because again, Overtaken's going to run out here. Now, I'm still curious. Like, you've got so many vills, and it's not your typical resource setup. I'm still really curious as, oh my god, he goes to deny the TC again. Are you kidding me? He won't deny it. Yeah, I still want to know what his eco setup looks like. Because he's got, like, wood villagers here, gold villagers here, gold villagers here that now need to be wood villagers. It's just going to be really messy, I think. KD is 15 to 11. Resources collected now. 1,000 more resources for Overtaken and should be climbing even more. I think Overtaken should win this game. I think where you fall apart here is if you start to lose army numbers and you don't prioritize an option. Oh, nice raid here. Oh, that's really nice find. You don't prioritize an option that can kill the Cav Archers. Like, this is a lot of Knights, though. 17 Cav Archers. You see, he's starting to lose the knights. So what I'm thinking is you need Knight Scorpion and you need a monk to just heal up your knights. And you just... Raiding is fine, but you have to stop losing the knights and you just have to be patient. If you have like 4 Scorps with your knights and the knights are being healed up, then you're in an okay spot. But it's very easy to fall behind in these situations because when you have the Vil count, you have to work a lot harder to balance that eco. And Dragonstar has already been told with how... Oh, God. Dragonstar has already been told with how this game develops. Or has developed. I need to kill him fast. So, right, his focus is going to be primarily on the attack. Still feels like Overtaken's got just enough to hold this, though. As long as he can continue to make more Knights and Scorpions. And we just saw here, Dragonstar's eco is by no means that clean. Res collected's probably like 2k different now. Yeah, I mean, it's just shot up big time. Drama in this group, man. This group is ridiculous. I think there's a hole there. Not sure if you'd want to run in it. The Dragonstar knows that he can't really run through here. Had he run through there, he might have been trapped. Still trying to get a massive Cav Archers. And he's going to try and maybe raid the other side with the CA as well. But he does need a straight-up fight. He needs like a big snowball engagement. Almost needs a forward castle with how far behind he is right now. And Overtaken has made it so difficult for Dragonstar to break him. He only has 11 knights, though. The Cav Archer in mass is up to 24. I've thrown games like this. I'm just a silver pleb, but players can lose from these positions if they lose like this type of hill, for example. Everything falls apart. This is such a crucial area, though. Wow, Overtaken's going to get another town center up. So now if you lose, like, one side of your base or lose the middle of your base, you can at least expand. The worry with losing this area is Dragonstar kind of has all your attention and then can hit you from the other side. Dragonstar, just 2 TCs here as well. I feel like he would have wanted to go for the third, but he didn't have the res for it. Because this game has been really difficult to follow, and he's been moving around a lot with those Cav Archers. The Overtaken has more villagers. He's killed more villagers, and now he's just attacking the town center. He's like, I know your Cav Archers are out there. Come get me. I think he correctly leaves at the right time as well. He knew the Cav Archers were here, figured they're coming back because he doesn't see them anymore. And now the Scorpions find some nice hits. So all these Cav Archers have 80 HP in Castle Age. Oh, Demo even got sniped there by the Mangonel. What in the world? You know, the Scorpion and Knight damage has certainly been enough thus far to push these Cav Archers away. It's a little wasteful from Overtaken here, but I think in this moment is when he wants to place a castle. So it wouldn't actually surprise me if he continues to take the fight. Dragonstar does have another demo on the way, and he'll want to hit the siege with the demo. Bam! He gets it, and it was going to be a forward castle for Overtaken, and now he's worried, and he's got to place it in the middle, surely. You could fit it there. Yeah, there you go. I think you could still sacrifice this army or some of this army just to get this castle down. Obviously, if this castle gets denied right now, could be the beginning of something special for Dragonstar. Yeah, Overtaken's like, I'm building a castle here. I just need to dodge whatever shots I can. Microing like a nerd. 42 on food for him versus Dragonstar's 14. And I think Dragonstar knows he's pretty screwed here. He'll know that castle's up now. He means he can't go anywhere through the middle. Can't really hit this side with efficiency. All the villagers that were chopping wood there have moved on to other resources that are safer. And I love how aggressive Overtaken is. He has really come to play today. Dragonstar has to come home and stop this. But you can't come home and stop this and win the game. So basically that means he might not win the game, right? You're 50 villagers behind, you need to be doing damage. Pretty hard to do damage when you know you're going to lose 20 villagers if your TC goes down. And yet again, Overtaken, he attacked. By the way, he got through with the light cap back here. But he attacks the TC, and he's like, oh, he's got to be coming to chase me, right? I don't want to lose these knights. And now he tries to run away. However, the Cav Archers have located him. And so Overtaken just takes the fight. He's like, all right, fine. I'll just take the engagement. I'll make more knights then. Decides against it. I think this is the right play. If you have the castle here, I think you just fall back. Would love to see him heal those knights up in the castle if possible. There you go. And scorpions! Oh my god, the scorpions helped out so much there. And he still has enough knights to allow the scorpions more shots here. He's like, here, kill me, kill me, kill my knights, kill my knights, kill my knights, kill my knights. Meanwhile, scorpions getting their hits. Res collected now almost 10,000 more for Overtaken, who came into this series with just 3 wins. Which is fine 3 rounds in if you're in another group, but in this group, when the player above you is at 6, you need to get at least 2 here. I don't like this. I would say maybe keep your knights hidden away if you can before the Imperial Age upgrades. But, you know, Dragonstar, he hasn't clicked up to Imp yet. He can't find any good areas for engagements. Overtaken honestly played this perfectly. Wow, Cumans look really good. I wonder how you stop this. Honestly. Because almost everyone's going Scout opening or Archer opening. But if you wall up your main base, which Overtaken did, and he was on point from the start with the quick walls and everything to make sure the walls got down. If you wall up your main base so you're not exposed, and then you just TC the food, it feels like you're going to really find it difficult to do damage. And the GG's just called. Dragonstar sees that Overtaken's an imp. He's probably felt like he was behind for a while. And he knows what that means. Overtaken gets a crucial victory there. And Dragonstar, he's going to go to his home map next. But great game. Kind of summed it up already. I feel like that strategy is really, really strong. We might see Cumans bans more or picked more in the future after some other pros have seen this. But a bit of new meta here on this map, because I think it's the first time we've seen it on Spiral. I'm not really sure what more Dragonstar could have done. He could have been a bit more effective with his early attacks. Walled in his villagers making this TC. But if he walls in the villagers making this TC and the TC goes up, he's still behind by 30, 40 vills. Overtaken honestly just played a near flawless game. I think you just... I think that's it. You just got to give a full credit to Overtaken. His economy was ridiculous. His focus, his defense, his activity with his army. Like, that is a player who is a gold quality player. But he needs more wins here. And then he needs to hope that in his final rounds, he gets 3 wins against Stark, like a lot of other players did, to have a chance at surviving. All right, so here we are, game number 2. Just switch up the colors back to how we started. And we have another Coast to Mountain game. And Coast to Mountain has delivered some awesome games thus far. It's one of my favorite maps in this season of Titans League. And this is a nomad start, guys. So you can decide on where you want to build your TC. Usually, players build their TC as quickly as possible so they can get villagers out of their TCs as quickly as possible. And Dragonstar has done exactly that, placing his TC here. Overtaken, he actually is building his TC over here on a wood line, which will make some aspects of his start a whole lot better. Dragonstar sending his camel, which both players start with, really early to scout, though. And he's actually able to find that that TC is going up there. There was a game the other day where a player lost their they lost their camel to the TC after it was completed because it's more normal to scout this area later on. Now, you see what Overtaken's doing. He's sending a villager all the way across the map to go build a dock. And there goes the camel. Just passing on that one. But yeah, we will see both players dock. Both players aim to add fishing ships. And that's kind of the cool part of this map, right? Is you have the coast, and then you have the mountain. So anyways, Dragonstar will know his opponent's TC is there. It's important intel. This is the #1 civilization pick for Dragonstar. Because Mongols have a hunt bonus, and there's hunt everywhere on this map. Now, the key in my mind is, I at least, not even the key. I think players in general in Gold have put far more focus onto water in Feudal Age than you will see any of the top 24 do in Platinum. That's just my opinion right now. I think it's more important, like, let's say you lose your 4 fishing ships, but then you have, like, 4 or 5 scouts and you're controlling the map. What's more important? I think the scouts control would be more important because you could also take the hunt then as well. Obviously, the fish do matter, but there's not that many fishing areas long term, right? You got to figure in Dark Age, you take this, maybe this, and then you're going a pretty long distance for the rest of the fish. Now, Dragonstar, he went for the straggler tree build. And he made the dock early. For him, it was going to be more expensive and more difficult to get these two fishing ships out because he didn't TC a woodline. So the reason Overtaken TC'd the woodline is so he has more efficient wood chopping. So this is actually better for his wood income. Dragonstar essentially used the straggler trees to make the dock and the two fishing ships, and then he had just enough wood to make a lumber camp. And now he's focusing primarily on food. Yeah, exactly. There's just not a lot of fish compared to some other maps here, which is why I feel some players, as Dragonstar uses the little house trick to push the boar back. It's why I feel some players have had the wrong approach. But again, that's just my opinion. It could be wrong. Is this Gold League? It is. Actually, you also slightly reminded me to add this image on screen. Boom. This is TTL. As it stands, the live rankings, after both players have played 3 rounds and then 1 game, Dragonstar sits at 6 wins and Overtaken sits at 4. Overtaken really needs to get up to 5 today at the very least. So Overtaken walling up. The other downside of this position, and again, it's really nice to have, but the other downside of the position that Overtaken has chosen here is you're further from all these different rhinos. So, not being in the middle means you're a bit further away from hunt, but you can still take the hunt here and still take the hunt here. Now, Overtaken chose Berbers because Dragonstar chose Mongols. He considers this to be a counter pick, and I do think the Berbers, if this goes late game, or if this goes Castle Age even, and it's even at that stage, Berbers are the superior civ. So here's this camel. Look at the humps move. Look at the hump. Look at it. Side to side. Did you guys ever know that the camel hump moved side to side? Look at it move. Yep. Anyways, Overtaken. He scouted this dock. He does not actually see that Dragonstar is going for another dock. So right now, he might feel like he's going to have the edge on water. He also will be going for 2 docks. He traveled quite a long distance to make the second dock. But actually, I think that might end up being helpful for him because it's pretty far away. And it's an area where you can hide his fishing ships more effectively. So both players just going for a water build, basically. We're going to see fire galleys out for Dragonstar much faster, though. So if Dragonstar can get the edge on water, but then also, have that hunt available to him in mid-feudal age, this could be huge. Well, this is all a product of the start. The TC was up faster, and the hunt came in much faster as well due to the Mongol bonus. So it should be expected that the Mongols are going to have an edge there. Where are these fishing ships going? He's hiding them. Blend in with the water. Oh, wow. We have galley approach for Overtaken. Okay. So he has to keep his galleys inside of his dock, and so hiding the fishing ships makes sense then. And Dragonstar's like, huh? This is pretty epic, actually. Berber ships also move faster, so I like the galley approach a bit more than I would with other civs. Dragonstar also hasn't located the second dock yet, so he was going to think it's just 1 dock approach from Overtaken, so he's adding fish, thinking he's safe to do so. Fishing ships are still not bringing in any resources. Dragonstar's walling up perfectly. Look at the ostrich. They're actually pathing in towards the TC. Come on, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. It's a gift. There's another one pathing in towards you. Kill it. He's not realizing that. That makes me so sad. The gods have given you a gift, and you have spat in their face, Dragonstar. You will now lose this game. Dragonstar just found the second dock, which is a pretty big deal, because otherwise he might have, been tempted to make even more fishing ships than 4. Faster Berber villagers does mean you can bring in the rhinos that are a bit further away, which is what Overtaken has done now, and it's been a pretty clean game so far. The galleys are now in a high enough number, or will soon be in a high enough number, to kill the fires. You have to micro so much, though. Okay, there go the 3 galleys. There go the 3 galleys. Dragonstar notices. Overtaken misclicks. Big time. Yeah, it was a big misclick there. He's lost half a ship. But with this speed, I think Overtaken is going to eventually be able to win water. Maybe I'm wrong, though. He doesn't have fletching yet. He seems concerned. He's making a demo out of one of his docks. Also, look at Dragonstar trying to kill the villager. The demo's not coming out of this dock either. He's getting wedged into a little corner here. That one misclick could have made the difference between snowballing water and not. He's waiting for his demo to come out. Honestly, don't even use the demo here. These are all weak. You're going to win water this way. But, guys, look at the resources for Dragonstar. There's the demo. The demo does land. That's a really nice demo. So, yeah, KD is going to look ridiculous right now for Overtaken, who hasn't lost a unit yet. His fishing ships can find some fish and go back to work. But Dragonstar's like, I really don't care anymore about water. I mean, that's probably what he's thinking. He cares, okay? He cares, but is it that big of a deal? No, I don't think so. Honestly, this build's just ridiculous. This is why Mongols are the #1 pick. And I was thinking that Overtaken would have banned the Mongols, because the way the draft works is Overtaken got the final ban and Dragonstar got the first pick. He banned Mayans instead, which surprised me. Villager's been forgotten about here, so that's not good. And now Overtaken just needs to make sure he doesn't die in early Castle Age. Dragonstar's going to click up. So, it's interesting. I think that Overtaken's played incredible, but so has Dragonstar. And we're just seeing the differences of the approaches pay off. The galleys have done enough. Big investment, though. 9 galleys. Like, that's not going to help you too much long-term now. And then the hunt and the transitions there have been pretty awesome for Dragonstar. I think Dragonstar killed 1 fishing ship, which is that eco kill. Now, decision now for Overtaken, as he doesn't have the food. Guys, he doesn't have the food to go to Castle Age. Look at his resources. He's got 4 on food, which is 2 fishing ships, 1 villager on a shore fish, and then 1 farm. Anyways, decision now is, do you want to go to Stone maybe and go to Camel Archers early? Because Camel Archers are seen as a really good counter to Mangadai. Or is your approach something else? Let's look at food collected here. Food collected, it's just a ridiculous difference. We do have more fishing ships coming out for Overtaken, but fish is still so far away. I think Dragonstar is actually going to make a run over here for a second TC. He's just going to boom here. The Camel for Overtaken's trying to look and see what his opponent's doing. He saw a blacksmith, he saw a market. So that should tell him his opponent is most likely just going to boom. Because if you saw a barracks or a stable, you would know that aggression could come in. Now, farming eco is good long term. So it's not bad that Overtaken is farmed. But I think he's been stressed about the possibility of Dragonstar being aggressive on land. So he didn't take this hunt. You see how he left this mill? He's worried. Both players going to use the market quite a bit. Dragonstar is going for TC boom. Well, he's going to need farms. He won't be able to fish anymore, remember. And he's going to need to hunt as well. There's a little bit of hunt here he's taking right now, but there's no way he can produce out of 4 TCs long term. There's no way. Also, someone says Dragonstar lost a vill to a boar. Yeah, I think he did. I think I actually showed it on screen, but I didn't pick up on it. While I was talking about whatever I was talking about, I thought, did he just lose a villager? I think it was when the boar was right here. I wasn't exactly sure. Oh, please get horse color before all these farms. Oh, he's stuck now. Oh, no, he can't. He can't. He's committed to the Vil production. He doesn't have the food for Horsecollar. Let's hope he remembers. Obviously, farms still needed. Not bad thing to be adding farms right now, but to not have Horsecollar on them means they will expire eventually. And while Dragonstar will take the villager lead, he doesn't have the 11 fishing ships Overtaken has right now. And this is actually a really nice thing. He's redocking, so the fish look a whole lot more efficient. Wow. Yeah, mods, if you could. I don't know why some random guy's trying to promote a weird YouTube short. Hashtag car, hashtag game, hashtag fun. Man, who wouldn't want to click a hashtag game, hashtag fun clip? I guess the plan for Dragonstar maybe to get a relic here? Yeah, he's going to try and get a relic. I would like to see a scout added, personally, from Overtaken. Because while your camel gives you vision, the scout can actually attack. And Overtaken in the Castle H. Wasn't a late time, just late compared to what Dragonstar was able to achieve. And he's got TC number 2, TC number 3 coming up. Already had Horsecollar for his farms. Eco's looking pretty tasty. Even getting gill nets right now. So he's gonna fully fish out this pond then, I think. I would like to see him get another dock over here eventually. But yeah, honestly, at this point, it's got to be farming eco. This is maybe going to build up to be one of the closest games, but most diverse opening games on Coast to Mountain so far. We've had a lot in Titans League, but this is really cool. We've just seen so many tiny bonuses utilized. It's lovely. We saw the faster villagers from Berbers. Boom, paid off here with the early TC. Bringing in boars from distance. Do the faster villagers. Awesome. We saw the faster ships. We also saw some nifty little hiding of fishing ships from Overtaken, which I really liked. We saw the Mongol hunt utilized. We saw the Mongol scouting bonus utilized early. And I can't really say any of these players have really made a mistake. Now, look, watch this from Overtaken. He's trying to block the monk with the camel. You can't attack with it. And Overtaken knows that this is happening. He knows why this is happening as well. And, ooh, what a play there from Overtaken. That was beautiful. Because I feel like this is definitely going to go to the main channel on YouTube now. Because I just know. I do want to point out, this is part of a really important group stage in Titans League Gold. If you check out the T90 Extras channel, we have Play All 3s being uploaded every single day. Every game matters. And Overtaken, he really needs to win 2-1 or 3-0 here against Dragonstar. Dragonstar's got 6 wins after 3 rounds. Overtaken had 3 wins after 3 rounds. But now he's at 4 because of the win he got in the first game, which was a really strong game from him as well. So we saw the Scout Edition pay off. Guys, I'm concerned for the wood count for Dragonstar. He has so many farms without Horsecollar. And in like a minute or 2, they're all going to expire. Like some of the ones he placed initially. He realizes now he doesn't have it and gets it for any of his new farms. It's good. But to go up to 33 farms without it is going to be painful. Especially when he probably is going to want to spend a lot of wood on either Siege with the Mongols or the Mangadai. But it does make you think, will we even see Mangadai? So this becomes the most important area in the long run. All the wood and all the stone and all the gold. Keep in mind there is stone and gold over here. But Overtaken going to wall this up, guys. This is sick. It's so smart. And there's Horsecollar for Dragonstar. Now, you have this perpetual fear when playing against the Berbers that you can't go Mangadai. They have no counter to the Camel Archer. I have seen Mongols beat Berbers in late game before by going Siege Onager and Hussars. Well, it's actually, no. It would have been a combination of like Mangadai, Hussars, and Siege Onager, but that's not too easy to get to. Overtaken trying to stop Dragonstar from expanding. Dragonstar kills the scout, so he can now outpost. He's a little paranoid at the moment. This is kind of funny. Which is faster? Oh, they have the same speed. Funny. Outposts from Dragonstar, just so he doesn't get overwhelmed by any pressure. And he deems it easy enough to leave his base here to go to that stone. Spearman actually going to kill the scout here, and Dragonstar uses his camel to block. Wow, that's so cool. Look how compact Overtaken's eco is. Yeah, he's now going for a castle. I don't think it's a bad idea to make camel archers. I really don't. So I think you will still see that approach. And we see cav archers for Dragonstar. Well, sometimes it's problematic in early Imperial Age when you want trebs to also have to make a unit out of your castle. So cav archers do fire faster with the Mongols. They're not Mangudai. Mangudai are superior, but still, they're very strong cav archers. Second game in a row in this series that Dragonstar's tried to go cav archers, actually. So, starting to get those upgrades. Not a fan of that castle spot. Just back it up here, Dragonstar. Just back it up ever so slightly. I think he really wants to protect this gold. Like, this gold he knows will be important to him. Look at Overtaken even thinking about it. These guys, their brains are just on fire right now. Amazing how well they played this. Overtaken has pretty much fished the entire coast, and now he's going to add fish traps. So still having food income from those fishing ships is nice. But he has a castle here. He has a castle here. He is absolutely committing towards camel archers. And Dragonstar, he wants trebs. So he's going forward castles so he can go trebs to take out the buildings that make the unit that counters him, the camel archer. If this castle would have been up already and he was making a treb already and he could start trebbing this down, it would have been huge. But he doesn't know that the castle's there from Overtaken. He doesn't have the ability to scout in there. And Overtaken can see this. So Overtaken could start with trebs right away. And I think we might see conscription from Dragonstar because he doesn't see a castle to treb. He's not making a treb or getting conscription right now. But this castle will end up looking a bit foolish. Yep, he's getting conscription to produce units faster, which is not a bad tech to get. But I really feel as though, you know, just losing that castle and not really able to do too much with it could be a problem. Now, this is kind of fun. A little redock here from Dragonstar, which Overtaken wasn't able to spot because he's busy with everything else. And so the Navy didn't spot this. The Navy can't counter this. And we are going to see Dragonstar try and kill the fishing ships. Dragonstar also didn't know that this castle was here till now, but he is finding quite a few Vilpix over here with the cav archers. Because Overtaken's thinking about the main push. But there should be some camel archers running out across. Yeah, it looks like we see it now. Also, look at Overtaken's buildup with his outposts and his houses, guys. He's got all these buildings everywhere. Dragonstar will run right through areas that Overtaken can see. Dude, Overtaken's playing incredible Age of Empires right now. He's playing amazing. And he prepped the Berbers to try and counter the Mongols, which right now is seeming like a pretty good choice. Dragonstar's had a great game as well, but there's not been an elite game like Overtaken has had here, which brings us so much drama in the group. And all the cav archers go down to the castle, and the camel archers. Gate wasn't really even needed in the end there. Wow. Now, no stable upgrades yet for Overtaken, which is problematic. So he doesn't have bloodlines yet. So he's at 55 HP. Oh, okay. He's getting bloodlines now. He'll probably get husbandry as well. And Dragonstar is going to go into skirms. Because he needs to counter the camel archers. Remember we mentioned when Dragonstar tried to build a castle here, how important this gold was going to be? It seems like he's forgot. Because so many things have gone poorly for him. But it's 16 camel archers and counting. And then if the Mongols go skirms, you just add... Like, I actually think going Cavalier makes sense because you have so much gold control. But the safe play, the play that players normally go for, is they just go for Hussar then. Overtaken picked Berbers, expecting the Mongols on a map with a lot of hunt. He was so late to Castle Age compared to Dragonstar, but he has had so much momentum in early Imp here, and I'm struggling to see what Dragonstar can really do. And if you watch the whole series, I said the same thing. Dragonstar had a great game in the first game, but the play with humans from Overtaken just made it so difficult for Dragonstar to have a chance. Skirmishers don't have much armor right now, and they're not in high enough number. Overtaken's just picking off the skirms one by one right now. He does see there's rams coming through. He's going to place a house to buy a little bit more time for himself. And it will be Siege Ram in a second for Dragonstar. But I'm just seeing him lose units here. I'm sure, like, what we're not seeing is he's trying to expand his eco, trying to do all these different things. He'll try and drop a castle for more gold there because he senses he's losing this location. But the Mangonel behind actually helps against the Siege Rams. That would be enough. And this is giving Overtaken time to get some units out of his stables and get some of the upgrades for those units too. Now, no elite Camel Archer, and he has to be careful he doesn't overextend here. There are Siege Rams on the field. He really wants to go for the kill. He's running underneath the town center fire and into the back corner where, you know, more units won't be able to accompany him, right? It's not like he can get Lightcap back here. But he is still focusing on the front. And he sees the Trebs from Dragonstar as Dragonstar's going to try and take out this castle. And it is much more important for Overtaken to have castles than it is for Dragonstar in this matchup. Camel Archer's kind of tossed away there. But that meant Dragonstar had to send units this way. And Overtaken still doing, you know, that direction himself from his base towards that corner, thus sending units to the unprotected Trebs. The castle goes down for Overtaken. The Treb's still not down yet for Dragonstar. The Dragonstar with the combination of Cav Archers, Siege Rams, and also Skirms may be able to make something happen here. Now here, neither player is making Trebs right now to contest those castles. Makes sense that they're both very focused here. And the tankiness of the Siege Rams is making it more and more difficult for Overtaken, which is one of the biggest reasons you make Siege Rams in the first place. It's not just for buildings, but it's just how much they tank. Meaning that your units are spending time attacking a ram, and while their army is spending time attacking you. I still feel like we just haven't had the Hussar number yet from Overtaken. And once we see more Hussars, that, you know, the rams won't be as effective and the skirms won't be as effective, but never know. Could maybe see the drill upgrade research as well from Dragonstar, which makes the siege a little bit faster. Oh god, this is kind of funny. Does Dragonstar see the Mangonels coming? Because his Trebs are stacked. Oh no! It's 3 Trebs on 1 tile! No! Not a Mangonel! No! No! He lost 2. He's gonna lose 3 Trebs. Oh man, he's getting raided over here too. He's got Camel Archers here too. And I'm sure he feels like he's behind, so... Oh, look at Overtaken! Wow! Repairing with 10 villagers on that Mangonel and keeping it alive. And so he took out all 4 Trebs from Dragonstar there. And that's huge, because Overtaken doesn't actually have any stone to mine right now, from what I'm seeing stat-wise anyways. He really needs those castles. I still think this game could go either way. Overtaken continues to dive with Camel Archers. That is not the unit you want to take risks with here, my friend. A heavy Cav Archer's on the way for Dragonstar. He still has a pretty healthy amount of them. And it's that Mongol siege that is currently separating the two civilizations in terms of the potential to push, I guess, right? It's tricky when you need Hussars to also have the food to get the elite, or yeah, heavy, or is it, what's wrong with me? Elite Camel Archer upgrade. Also, I always find Camel Archer Elite to be really awkward, and it never really feels natural in the game, because it's like 1,100 wood and 1,000 food for the Elite upgrade. You would think that's good because you don't have to spend gold, but it's actually really tough to get the wood when you're making a unit that costs wood. But yeah, we'll see. Dragonstar, I'm surprised he's alive right now, guys, but these heavy Cav Archers, they're still going to be firing pretty quickly. The pathing sucks in our game. It really does, especially right now, and I hope the devs eventually fix it, but we'll see. But anyways, the Hussar's unable to kill the Trebs right away because of the pathing. but he does get it. He also gets the ram. Overtaken keeps his castle up. And while the Camel Archers still are an elite, he's getting the final armor, which he didn't have before. They still should be really good against heavy Cav Archers. But, I mean, the heavy Cav Archer's superior in HP. The heavy Cav Archer's superior in attack. So, like, bonus damage is great and all, but... Man, let's talk about gold. Like, seriously. Oh, God, I completely missed this. This whole time? Sorry? Zalato said push in the south, by the way. Sorry, I was so fixated on the north myself. Anyways, Dragonstar lost a castle and a TC there. He's lost a lot, but... Yeah, gold is a massive issue right now. So I guess this gold pile and this gold area that Dragonstar's taking becoming more and more important. And this gold is... And this gold, the only gold that Overtaken's maybe taking right now from what I can see. No Hussar for Dragonstar. Probably too late to think about it yourself. I think to invest into the buildings even, he doesn't have the wood. There are situations where you just can't tech switch. You have to stick with what you've got. You're committed. At least get fully popped. Once you have max population, then you can start to use excess resources to tech switch a little bit. How many kills do these galleys have? These two galleys have 23 kills. And it's probably all villagers. I think had these fires been sent over there by Dragonstar, he would have been able to take that gold freely. But it's so easy to forget about that. There's still a gold here, by the way, which Overtaken can see. This is scouting. But I think right now he's actually in stabilized mode. I think he will feel like he's got the better civ from here and that he could get the job done as long as he doesn't make any mistakes with this position. Especially after the trebbing of Dragonstar's position in the south. And I don't know if Dragonstar can do much more from here. He's out of gold. The Cav Archers are getting destroyed now. Elite Camel Archer did come in over the last few moments. And if it's Elite Camel Archer and Hussar, the Mongols struggle. And in this freaking group, anything could happen. This is one of the most ridiculous groups that we've ever had in Titans League. This is their third season, so we haven't done too many editions of it. But, like, I'm just getting so excited over the potential results. I'll show people some of the stats as well, and I'll try and entice some of my main channel watchers to get pumped for this format with the stats after this result. Even just this game. There will be a third game. It's a play all three. Every game matters. I don't know how you turn it around with limited gold to Dragonstar. Even his wood is all in the front here. I think also Mongol skirmishers lacking the final armor. They're not even that great against Elite Camel Archer. Camel Archer is going to still be planing them up pretty quickly. And Hussars from Overtaken not there to support the Camel Archers anymore because they're thinking about the south, I think. And it doesn't really matter, does it? The strength of the Mongols was obvious to me with the hunt. We saw so many different variations of strategy in terms of the build-up here. I actually really like what Dragonstar tried to do as well. He didn't go Mangadai because he knew the strength of the Camel Archers. I actually think what really hurt Dragonstar was that first castle. But he placed the castle, and it looked bad because Overtaken had pre-walled that area. So Overtaken made his life so much easier because of those walls. I've cast a lot of Coast to Mountain games. I've not seen a player play with such structure and expand with walls like that. The initial walls happened, but then players built outside their walls and build the castle. The couple extra walls helped them there, and Dragonstar made a mistake. Dragonstar never was really able to use map control in this game effectively on land, which is what ideally you would maybe want to do with some of that food. So maybe that's something he'll regret. But if you think about back to the feudal age, obviously they want water at this stage of the game, but like, how are you supposed to do damage with stable units again when Overtaken builds up like this? And maybe that was part of the thinking. Had he TC'd here, and then he's sending villagers this direction, then Dragonstar could possibly have an opening to do damage on land. And then Dragonstar could have added things on land. It was a cool game. Cool game, cool map. They really got the most out of the map. Whoops. And so let's do two things. Let's look at the stats for this particular game. Lots of gold income for Dragonstar. He did have more. It was actually very close with all resources except for stone. KD, obviously, Overtaken took some better engagements in it. It was almost expected once he got to Elite Camel Archer that would be the case here. But check this out. Bear with me. So this means Overtaken is at 5 wins in the group, and Dragonstar's at 6. So I'm going to show you two things, all right? And YouTube, stay with me. Trust me, this is really freaking cool. All right. So the first thing I want to show you guys before we see the third game is I want to show you the results from the other players, which I have a screenshot of. Makes it easy. So obviously now Overtaken bumps up to 5. Dragonstar's still at 6, okay? So it's 8, 7, 6, 6, 5. And who knows what happens after the final game. Still with some rounds to go. But then, watch this. Look at the probabilities sheet. We're looking at Group C. Okay? And then we add in these results. Overtaken winning the first 2 games. Overtaken still 70% odds to get relegated because 5th and 6th place gets relegated. But wait, it gets crazier. Let's just say, since everyone is 3-0ing Stark, when Overtaken does play Stark, which will be next week, that he 3-0s him. Then what happens? Let's say we just give him that 3-0. Could potentially be 3rd. Dragonstar, higher odds to be relegated. Like, whoosh, mind-blowing things. And I think most people have been 3-0ing Stark, so you kind of got to lean towards Overtaken maybe doing that. That's why these wins are so important. This next win for Dragonstar gives him... Look at the odds that changed there. It's so... Every win is so important. So yeah, it's really, really cool. And they're starting the next game, so I should probably go cast it. Let's see... All right, here we are, Graveyards, which was the home map for Overtaken. Poor Stark. I mean, Stark can ruin Overtaken's chances, and he can ruin the chances of whoever else he has to play. Stark can at least be in it for the $20 a win, and then be in it for some pride and ruining the others' days. Here we are, game 3, Overtaken up 2-0. Yeah, but like in back to the Stark thing real quick, because I gotta fix the colors. Stark is gonna be thinking, you're coming down with me. Yes, I'm being relegated, but you are coming down with me. So that could be cool. So anyways, we have Melee for Overtaken, which is the last Civ I expected on this map. Interesting choice. It's Graveyards, which is his home map. And this map is as Arabia as it gets for those that like Arabia. I actually, I had preferred to Arabia. I mean, we didn't have Arabia or Arena in this season. Anyone else just get Arabia out? This map needs to be in ranked, by the way. This map over Arabia in ranked would be fun. It still plays out similarly, but there's just different elements. The gold's more spread out. There's tiny wood lines. Got tons of relics to fight for. Anyways. Magyar's for Dragonstar, so the expectation there is he will try and go for scouts. And try and snowball this game quickly. And I'm assuming that Overtaken will know that. I'm thinking it would make sense for Overtaken to go for Spearman Archers. So yeah. This map is so stressful, man. Action all the time. Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to see it rotated into the map pool every once in a while. Right now, guys, our 1v1 map pool in ranked is like Hideout, Arena, Fortified Clear. All 3 of those in the same map pool. And then I don't know what else is actually there. Can you guys tell me? I think Islands is there. But it feels like half the maps play out similarly, so it would be cool to see a map like this incorporated eventually. This is the tourney version. The actual version of Graveyards, if you load it up in the game, has this area as a pond. So what we've added are dried up ponds. Any tournament version of Graveyards these days, it's dried up. They don't have water on it, but Graveyards usually has water. This is just a straight lands map. We have a lot of other maps with water. A 3 on wood right now for Overtaken, so there shouldn't be any barrack shenanigans in the Dark Age. If anything, it's right before he clicks feudal. If he adds a barracks, he's going to shoot this deer. Oh, okay. Not exactly what I meant. But yeah, lots of wood on the backside. I'm noticing for Overtaken. That's the main difference. It's wide open on the front. Well, not wide open, but it's open on the front. Whereas Dragonstar can wall here a bit more. But Dragonstar doesn't have very much back wood. He could TC over on this area, maybe next to people's graves. I don't know what they did to bury people here. But, like, did they just find a dead body and just plop a tombstone on top of them? Did they run out of shovels? I guess it's a feature of the map that there's skeletons spawning around. And it's also a feature in the map that there's graves spawning. And so sometimes the graves will be on top of the bodies. Not my jobs as gravedigger. He works by the hour. The gravedigger works by the hour. He's like, oh, I gotta go home. Let me just sit these things here till I come back tomorrow. Lots of food underneath the TC for Dragonstar. But you're expecting a fast feudal age build up here. It does come with a slight risk if your opponent is going to go for, you know, early militia or whatever. But that's not Overtaken style. And from what we can see, both players just pushing in their deer. What they don't want you to know is some of those people were killed with the gravestone. Oh, shoot. Dang. Well, yeah, I wouldn't want people to know that either. I mean, it's really convenient, though. It's like, hey, your brother died. Oh, no, that's so sad. Well, we have to bury him, right? How do I do that? It's like, well, we already did it for you. Oh. All right, well, it really sucks my brother died, but at least he kind of took the hassle out of me burying him. By the way, if my brother ever died, I would not be so lackadaisical about it. This is all really bad humor. Dragonstar ran into the TC fire. And he almost lost his scout, which is actually really bad for him. You get forging for free in the next stage, and that starting scout could be really valuable. So if you're going for scouts, you essentially have to make an additional scout for any attack to be effective now. He is going to steal a pig, though, so that is something. But you feel a bit more rushed with your scouting when you have pushed in so many deer, so you take a few more risks. And Overtaken on the way to feudal age here. And is trying to go for man-at-arms here. And his scouting's been perfect. He saw one of the houses, so didn't run into the TC like Dragonstar did. Sees both lumber camps. And Dragonstar's scout is weak. He might be a little concerned about having a scout around. Now, did he see that? I'm not seeing an indication that he did. But I think he's still paranoid, so he's coming home to check. That wolf, actually, the real MVP right there for Dragonstar, because the wolf slowed down the militia, and, oh, wow, it took him a second. But nifty little walling here from Dragonstar. He is going to chop that tree, but I think he's going to end up being okay here. He just kind of makes a little circular wall for both wood lines. A tower here would be devastating. And just an archer range behind this for Overtaken. And obviously the stable then for Dragonstar. Alright, so, I mean, if Overtaken wins this game, this could be brutal. It's not, like, horrible for Dragonstar to get 3-0'd. It's not like he's dead in the water, but he absolutely needs to win his final rounds. Can someone tell me who Dragonstar plays in the final round, then? Keep in mind that Liquipedia will have spoilers for the El Matador Target series that I'll be casting next. I've been avoiding them, so if you guys, well, definitely avoid them, and please don't spoil anything in chat. I guess we'll talk about it after the series. He plays Slam. Oh, boy. Top of the group, Slam is Dragonstar's last opponent. Sheesh. Well, he needs to get a win, then. He goes up to 7 wins if he gets a win here, and he's feeling a bit better about life. Again, this scout's weak from the Dark Age incident, so he can't really kill anything there. But he does have 2 more scouts looping around. Scout did go down for Overtaken. And Dragonstar is going to be happy with that. That's the first kill of the game. So remember we said Spearman and Archer would probably end up being the play. Dragonstar just building up scouts right now against that. But, I mean, Overtaken doesn't have that many Spearmen at home right now, and he's hoping to have time to get the walls down, but I think it's a miscalculation from him, and Dragonstar is going to get a crucial Vil pick, and he should be able to get 2. You just block with 1 scout here. A lot of players go back, but he's like, no, I'm hungry. He gets the kills, and then Overtaken runs into the TC with everything else. He got baited. He got baited. Oh, man, it went from bad to worse. Great position for Dragonstar right now, then. He does still need to find an answer to the Archers and Spearmen that are gonna move forward. But honestly, like, again, you think about Malay. Sure, they advance faster, but you look at the approach from Overtaken, it seems like an approach that would make a lot more sense for a wallable map. Whereas Dragonstar is playing open, staying open. He really would love to have a win before his final round against Slam. But Overtaken would love to get up to 6 wins before his final round against Stark. I guess mathematically, it is still very possible that Overtaken, if he were to lose this game, could end up passing Dragonstar if Slam gets good results against Dragonstar and Overtaken gets good results against Stark. I cannot freaking wait for that final round next week. Should be tasty. And then we've got Deciders too. Whew. 8 scouts and counting for Dragonstar. Talk about playing towards the civilization strength. Let's go. Really like what Overtaken did here with his woodline. Similar to what Dragonstar did, but really smart thinking. Dragonstar misclicked that blacksmith. He thinks that it's being built right now, I think. Or is it just weird pathing? Okay, he's making it now. Malay do get... Malay do get the armor upgrades for their infantry for free in each age. So you do have Spearman armor right now. I don't think Spearman armor is really that big a deal. I think if you have 3 Spearmen, it's certainly not that big a deal. Overtaken, no scout, can't have a heads up on what his opponent's doing. And Dragonstar runs in here, and Dragonstar sees another Vil. He's actually losing a lot of scout HP for all this. But he kills a villager anyways. He doesn't lose a unit. And he finds more villagers, and this is just the mobility of scouts paying off right now. He's all over Overtaken. And Dragonstar kills more villagers, and Bloodlines and Armor just came in. So he took that fight for that reason. Again, he's losing a lot of scouts. This could definitely have been more effective trades for him, but he's still killed 6 villagers. He's going to make that 7 villagers here, as he's still making some scouts out behind this. I don't think you're going to complain about killing 7 villagers, especially when your scouts were cheap this whole time, and the idle time for Overtaken is really massing up here. What he needs is he needs to get these villagers on a resource. He's about to run out of berries, and there's limited gold there, and can't exactly move out to the wood comfortably either. Double stables. A double stable, excuse me, for Dragonstar, who sees a lonely spearman and says, I'll take that. Or never mind. Fast Castle Age could still be pretty ridiculous for Overtaken. Dragonstar researched Wheelbarrow. Malay also spend a whole lot less time researching to the next age. So that's why there says there's only a 3 villager difference right now. And Dragonstar sells his stone to click up when his opponent has lots of archers. When you might need a panic tower. Risky moves. He's trying to find opportunities for more kills. He's going to run past with some of his scouts to block and kill another villager and gets out of here again. You got to make more scouts here, though. Honestly, Dragonstar could still lose this game. There's 5 spears. There's 10 archers. He only has 5 scouts right now. But he's making it so Dragonstar, so Overtaken can never leave his base. because he continually is running circles around this guy. So the faster Castle Age for Overtaken is probably just going to play out more into a second town center than anything. Oh, God. I don't know if this is the right decision, Overtaken. What are you doing? Okay, loses another Vil. Well, I mean, maybe it's worth it. You already lost 8 villagers before that. Why not lose a 9th? 3rd stable now for Dragonstar, who, of course, will get the Iron Casting upgrade upon arriving to Castle Age as well. He's on the prowl. Sees her. She's weak. She should be dead. Or she's not. I think after losing that many Vils, you definitely go for the second TC in this position. You can't push out and attack and kill your opponent right away, so I think you just... It's not what you would have wanted when this game started, but I think you go for the second TC. There goes Overtaken for that. Is moving forward. Oh, he's miscalculated. Oh, no, his spears are there. I miscalculated. Okay. I'd be worried, though, that the spearmen aren't enough against what will soon be light cav with full attack and full armor. That TC also a bit of a target for any siege. Dragonstar doesn't see it's coming up, but he's adding the siege anyways. Finds a villager, picks a villager. Oh, man, his micro's been amazing. He really has done a good job here with scout control. And there was a bit of paranoia from him that he was going to get hit on his woodline because he hasn't seen the crossbows yet. I still think he is paranoid. He's like, please don't hit my woodline. Please don't hit my woodline. Please don't hit my woodline. This spearman's probably maybe getting clicked through on patrol just to have an idea of where this crossbowmen are. Overtaken's not moving out yet, and that's actually the correct play because he's waited too long. If he were to move out now with 15 crossbows, he would lose a lot. But God, these light cav are so annoying. And Dragonstar is going to know about this TC now. He might have caught a glimpse of the crossbows. Yeah, I think moving forward with 15 crossbows against fully upgraded knights from Magyars would have been a mistake. But you stay close to your town center and you slowly build up a mass, it could be okay. Dragonstar has to pull back here, and Dragonstar has to pull back here. Remember, he's 1 TC. It's looked bad for Overtaken in terms of damage dealt towards him, but he still has good build-up potential. I'm worried about his lack of gold, though. He really needs another gold. And once it's knights, crossbows, and siege, I'm not sure how he stops it. And maybe pikeman upgrade, but even then, it feels like it's not really doable for him right now. And Dragonstar is building up that knight mass. A siege workshop of his own for Overtaken. His siege will be really vulnerable against knight dives, but he can still use the TC. I love this from Dragonstar. He says, okay, I've got enough here. I need to try and split up my units to raid, so he's going to send 5 knights this way at the same time. I think Overtaken expects it, though, because he doesn't see the main group anymore. Yeah, he definitely expects something. He'll see it. These guys are so good. He's not going to be able to micro properly on the front. Or I guess, yeah, on the front of his base at the same time. 0 gold income right now for Overtaken. Knights? Kind of in an awkward spot here. If they could get trapped. Nope. Not getting trapped. TC slowly going down. You need an answer to this Overtaken. So many quick walls needed. So difficult to do that. Look at the amount of villagers idle at the moment for Overtaken. In both TCs at various points here. He doesn't have any way to take out siege except his own siege. So he has to wait for that. Doesn't have a ton of gold income. Did he scout this gold earlier? He did, but he just can't think about it right now because of the pressure. And this has been a clinic on how to play the Magyars. Produce scouts. Produce lots of scouts. Go Castle Age, go all in. Not really a great booming civ. Just continue to attack. Whoa! Dragonstar dodges. Beautiful. And I think with the attack around there, Overtaken knows that Dragonstar is going to dive for this thing. And when you have the monks, I think it's worth it to just fall back to your monks to heal up after that. And he runs through. Dragonstar actually runs through. Don't get trapped here, Dragonstar. And he attacks the gate now. Still has 2 Scorpions, 2 Mangonels on this TC. Still no new Mangonel on the way for Overtaken. And more villagers are going to get found by stable units from Dragonstar. And villagers are going to drop. It's villager 15, villager 16. TC's going to be down. Dragonstar's losing some knights, but he could still run away. It feels like he's very close to getting a win here, which will keep the trend of everyone either losing 1-2 or winning 2-1 in this freaking group, except for Stark. Except for when Stark's involved. But isn't that wild? It's insane to me. And I think that could stay consistent. When Dragonstar Slam play, I see that being a 2-1 series. This is like the last effort for Overtaken. That Mangonel maybe killing some of these, and nope. Not going to happen. And Dragonstar will take out the Siege Workshop, and Overtaken knows this is the end, and Overtaken calls it. So, important from Overtaken to win 2-1 here. Huge, though, from Dragonstar to make sure he at least snagged 1 victory. And so, at this point, it means Dragonstar, after 4 rounds, is at 7 wins. His final round will be up against Slam, who's at 8 wins. So either player could overtake the other there. And then Overtaken has just moved up to 5. But his final round is against Stark. So it's very possible he could end up on 7 or 8 wins if you see Overtaken as the favorite, which I think you have to. Now, Stark is going to be... He's at 0 wins with 2 more rounds to play. Stark is going to be trying to just take someone else down with him, and it feels like anyone Stark beats at this point is really going to be in need of those wins. But the results are just ridiculous right now in Titans League. I've loved every single second of this tournament so far, and thank you everyone for having interest and excitement for this. This series delivered. Now, for Dragonstar, I think he needs to maybe consider banning humans next time, game 1. Let's not forget about that. Overtaken strategy was really cool. I think he just got crazy outplayed in game number 2. I don't think his strategy was bad. Maybe Berbers were a counter pick. I don't know. This game, though, he was able to stick to a game plan. I really didn't like the game plan in this game here for Overtaken. I don't understand it. Especially when you consider the draft. Like, the draft had Lithuanians available, Aztecs available on a map where there's lots of relics. I feel like Lithuanians playing to scouts and spears makes so much more sense than what Overtaken did here, but it's probably just a playstyle thing. And any strategy, when it doesn't work out, when you don't win the game, might be questionable.